Comment on our Raveneye Week videos for your chance to win Operation Crimson Stone. We'll be choosing 3 winners, one from the comments on YouTube, one from OnTableTop.com, and our Cult of Games members get an extra chance to win.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Raveneye Week here for Infinity from Corvus Belli. I'm joined by Carlos and Killian once again. So what are we taking a sneak peek at now then, Carlos?
Well, we are right now with the concept art video, okay, and I do enjoy this one. When we are putting together the images for the contents of one of these weeks, the earliest folder that is full is the one with concept artwork and 3D renders, because everything begins with a concept artwork. Corvus Belli, even still nowadays, takes very seriously the concept artwork stage, because it's the closest preview that you can have of the whole bunch together and stuff like that. And we do care and we do enjoy having nice concept artwork to show. I mean, at some point, it went from a working document to something that we understand that promotes also the product. It's visual eye candy, you know.
Sure, and I mean, it's one of the things that is so distinctive about the Infinity range is the art and style of everything. So what are we looking at today then?
Well, of course, we will begin with the Morat Aggression Force concept artwork, and the first unit that has to be shown is the Morat Vanguard Infantry. Vanguard Infantry. You say Vanguard. Vanguard. I use the U because Spanglish. Yeah. Okay. These are the most essential backbone of the army, light infantry. Okay, and we're looking at the Morats. And this time, Corvus Belli decided to go with a lighter armor approach to them. Okay, because if you remember the previous miniatures were loaded. I mean, they do not seem like armor value of 1.
No, they seem a lot more heavily weighted armor, the shoulder guards, the whole thing.
Despite everything of that, the narrative of Raveneye and the current narrative that Gutierre, the writer himself, has in his mind is that most of the Morat operations happening on the ground, on the surface of the planet, and mostly on the jungle. Gutierre, where do you want the photos of the Morats to be taken? Jungle environment. Where do you want the artwork, also the environment, jungle environment for the Morats? So seems appropriate for us to make them have a light approach. The arms are fully exposed, okay, and we can see the red skin, and they look fierce and they look dangerous. And from a module perspective regarding concept design, below this layer they are naked. And above this layer we will build all the designs, so it's a good first step to take a look when regarding the concept and the ideas of art director Carlos Torres when designing this alien race. Jumping just a little step ahead over the Morat Vanguard Infantry, we have the Dartok Cyber Combat Team, which is another additional troop profile right now, but it's obviously like a spin-off from the Vanguard. So they have obviously to look pretty much like them, but with the hacker device on and a little hacker.
So they are cyber combat warriors, they're hacker. Yeah, but they're also quite good at shooting as well because they're Morats.
And they will be part of the fire team and stuff like that. But because they are giving a few privileges as a new troop profile, they are no longer in the Vanguard troop profile. They are the Dartok Cyber Combat Team, because we will take a look at that during the troop profiles video, because we have so much content to talk about. Yeah, stay tuned, pay attention to the theme week, because we have tons of videos. This week is loaded of content, so get ready.
So apart from the hacker then, if we dive back into more of the concept.
The new Raktarak.
New design for the Raktarak, Morat
It's a lot better than the old one actually.
Major, very useful unit profile, has always been, and now is even more. Is kind of not the lieutenant, but the best help that the lieutenant can get in the battlefield. Skills.
They're sergeants, they're basically there to lead.
Oh, they're people who actually do the work, unlike the officers who just...
Flexible tool. We here have the Carlos Torres had decided to give them like kind of a Nazi officer. I don't know if I can say that word right now.
It's the code.
It's the code.
The trench coat really sells it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's a very dynamic pose.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Kind of a breathing device right there, carrying the Vulcan shotgun, which is a demolishing weapon. But obviously going for, okay, this is an officer, this has a higher rank, this is have to have a distinguished look. If we compare to the foundational stone of this design, which is the Vanguard, as we have seen.
Yeah.
So really going for a distinctive look here, because we are stepping on higher step of the chain of command in a certain way.
You'll be able to tell straight away this guy's an officer and the other guys are regulars.
Yeah. Well, he's got a coat for.
He's got a coat for.
He's got a coat to begin with. So pushing one step beyond into sort of more.
Yeah, Serat Special Missions Regiment. We have here a very specialized troop and a specialist. Okay, and this time this is the hacker loadout. We have also designed without the hacker device, so we had two designs. Serats are usually female in the Morat aggression force, okay? And this can get as sneaky infiltrator as the Morat can get. So no camouflage for her, but has infiltration skills, okay?
Morats don't do camouflage. Camouflage is too sneaky for Morats.
Yeah.
But you want people to see you coming. There's no point in hiding.
Yeah,
otherwise they don't know the Morats have
arrived. There's no point in playing camo on a sledgehammer, like, you know.
Yeah. It's probably a mistake to do. That is absolutely stunning. I really like I suppose it's the tessellation of the undersit, the body armor.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's a nice little feature.
Nice detail. Yeah. Also regarding female Morat figures, this time we have a discussion, and once at some point we said more Kendrat, less Aniat, which for Corvus Belli means Aniat was one of the first female 3D Morats made for the original Dire Force box, and she was standing in a pose like it was too much of a supermodel pose.
Yeah.
Right.
On the other side, by the end of Defiance, one of the last figures unlocked from the Kickstarter campaign of Defiance, the Dungeon Crawler from Infinity, very successful. May you heard about it. Kendrat was a hero, female Morat, who was with like a bodybuilding structure and with a very fierce pose.
Yeah.
And we were like, that is the way. Like female Morats are absolutely muscle and absolutely warrior, unless you don't go with feminine poses.
Yeah.
Don't go with, especially in the whole range of Infinity that we have sometimes some super kawaii, feminine looking, lovely. Attractiveness is everywhere. I mean, but with the Morats, we should not go that way intentionally. Yeah. Okay,
it's more the Amazon warrior or the She-Hulk type rather than a femme fatale. They're not
absolutely. Sometimes you end up having on the screen something that looks attractive.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to have at least one directive, like do not go that way, especially with female Morats.
Yeah.
So Kendrat is still one of the best looking figures from Defiance, I guess. I think that was like a very correct decision in the artistic direction, and it's like something that we will try to follow with additional female Morats here.
Interesting stuff. I'll be interested to see what poses come up for the non-sort of hacker variant as well in the future.
In the future, there will be an option with boarding shotgun,
all right, well, that's how to win friends and influence people right off the bat, isn't it?
This is the Russia Diplomatic Division, because that is what the Morats do with diplomacy. They send you a paratrooper with a heavy machine gun or something like that.
Yeah.
Fully loaded, really, look at that, fully loaded. The previous design of this unit was also very good design, but in order to make everything coherent, has to be rooted in the same basis.
Yeah.
If you begin to get layers of this design, you will find once again the Morat Vanguard below. This is a paratrooper with a huge jetpack in order to land on the battlefield, and layers of the suit over there. And
with the Spitfire as well.
Yeah, the option that comes with the Morat Aggression Force Action Pack is with the Spitfire. Landing usually happens with all these kind of figures. Carlos Torres, the director, made like the same DNA, like the same layers here for the Kiosot, which is a medium infantry, also with the Rasset, which also has a medium infantry. But because they are Morat, they're big and chunky.
winning friends and influencing people.
Yeah. He also killing platoon, described from the fluff writer as the death squad of the Morats here, very aggressive among the aggressive. So kind of tools that are delivering death, and that's why the logo has a skull, the helmet has a skull, and you know, going for that. Specifically with the color scheme, they were asking for a distinctive color scheme, not as similar to the rest of the Morats, so we decided to go with the yellow, which were just used as a highlight in a certain detail of the rest of the uniforms. Here are absolutely yellow and black, or as black as you can get in a design dossier. You cannot never go full black because you're delivering nothing to the artist.
It's tricky to do.
Yeah.
That is a beast of a close combat weapon as well.
Yeah, these guys are very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very scary.
Well, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody decided the Predator wasn't quite frightening enough himself. So have you thought about being a bit more deadly on the battlefield?
Yes.
You know, can't imagine there's many people survive encounters with the Cossot.
Oh,
that's why they're called the Killing Division.
You will see the profile during this week, and you will understand the whole direct approach of this unit in the Morat Aggression Force. You cannot get enough of them.
So moving on to a slightly bigger beast.
Yeah,
This guy.
Yeah, big one. The Kaitok Shock Regiment is the Silhouette 5 infantry from the box. Okay, chunky and full of elements. At the end is a unit that is made for direct collision. It's like a rock that you throw onto the enemy, and you understand that is a Morat that goes with a huge armor, but not the most ergonomic armor. It's like a engineering thing going all around, chunky in all ways possible. It's, as I said, it's like a rock that you throw to the enemy. Okay.
Yeah, big powered armor.
Yeah, the multi-limbed, I suppose, exoskeleton sort of slung off the back. Is that also rocking some form of jump, or is that just the mechanics of the?
It's mechanics, and the Morat technology is chunky and unnecessarily complicated. You know, they they are supposed to make things just to be aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, but in a certain way, it's not a sophisticated armor. It's not a sophisticated tool. You know, it's something chunky adapted from prospecting and mining armors into combat, something like that.
Going back to the, I suppose, svelte and femme fatale look.
Yeah, femme fatale in the concept artwork. Okay, this is straight like Aniat. Okay, back in the day we have an Aniat figure that we thought that the pose was too feminine. This was not designed by Carlos Torres. This was designed by Roberto Zoreda, who is an artist that also enjoys putting some shading in the color stage of the concept artwork. Something that others we are not allowed to do, but we allowed him to do it because it looks so lovely. Okay, we have an option without shades of this design. Okay, but for showing off, we allow it to hire.
I think if you want to show off, then definitely adding the shading is a particular way to go. As
a working document, flat color is the way to go. Okay, but as a promotional document, it looks super cool. Aniak is a spec op. Okay, and now it's in the Dire Foes Slave Trophy Mission Pack 10. Check it out. And she is a character, a hero character, one of the few wildcards that the Morats have available, and allow them to be part of any kind of fire team. These character profiles usually are privileged in a certain way, have a specialist option and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So character, and this time going for the new, more aggressive. And you will hear the word aggressive during this week so many times.
Morats are all about aggression. Yeah.
Well, here's one that isn't entirely about aggression.
Yeah.
With the Enslaver, then. I mean, clearly they need to bring somebody home alive occasionally.
The Sabuk Morat Enslavers, part of the narrative from the new Dire Force pack. Okay, and it's has both HBT slot on her two profile, so it's a miniature that can be used both as a unit in the army as also as a HBT, you know. So makes the whole bundle even being super cool for the Morat player who has in the Dire Foes 2 Morat figures.
Yeah.
You know, there's a background with slavery in the Morat culture. Okay. That is one of the traits. The Morat culture has been scarred by the past of all their genocide and warmongering and slavery. It's like even worse than humanity. Okay, there are many points where the Morat culture reached the whole identity, the whole civilization of the Morats almost going extinct. Certain races of the Morats were extinct, and genocide happening from time to time. The fluff mentions that, and mentions that the Morats had to achieve a certain point of civilization where they have to really address the issues and being able to build a culture that was going forward, because they reached many points of self-destruction. So slavery is one of those dark traits that are present in American culture. They do not respect prisoners of war. They absolutely mistreat them and kill them and enslave them. Also, the survivors of wars that are heavily damaged are also not treated with respect. So there are highly demanding culture, and that brings some dark paths here and the presence of so dark concepts here.
And so that brings us then to the actual render. And interesting set of, I suppose, close combat weapons, the massive mace on the end of the chain.
Yeah, well, more than close combat weapons, I think that Carlos Torres, the director, went here for a more primitive look. Okay, something that you will also find in the Tirok Hunter, in the Osnat. Certain Morat units have been designed not thinking about war itself, because if you look at the Vanguards, you see soldiers. But here we are going deeper into the Morat culture.
Yeah, into the culture.
So you find more primal flavor in a certain way.
Interesting stuff. And
yes, hashed.
The Sasbasti guest here, special guest hashed, which is the Corax spec op from the Sasbasti, which is the guest here in the Dire Foes box, because there's this new narrative going on where we have like a fight between Morats and Sasbastis inside the Combined Army for certain objectives. Everybody wants to be daddy's pet, daddy's favorite.
You don't want to fall behind in the pecking order.
Yeah. So Combined Army players, at least you have here figures that can be played in Combined Army. Here we have fighting for a MacGuffin that the slaver has. Teitak and Corax will fight each other for hiding their secrets of the internal factions of the Combined Army, or having the trophy to show to the evolved intelligence. Oh, sorry, my voice. My voice is cracking.
You're just too excited.
That's
the problem. There's too much to show off.
Absolutely.
Speaking of too much to show off, oh my God.
This next one.
This next one is a stunner. She.
We can see the profile is Tirok Hunter, and that's the official name of the profile, but she's a huntress, I will say. Okay, female, Morat. Once again, going with the primitive look. We can see that she's carrying a few trophies with her already. And this is the exclusive figure of the bundle and the event. Okay, get it now. I mean, you can get it directly buying it while the opportunity is there. You will get it for free. You get the bundle, and if you are at Adepticon, get like an extra copy for you, for your friends, for eBay, whatever. Okay.
And I think if you get Tag Raid, you also get Terror Hunter, the Morat expansion.
I think that the hunter from Tag Raid is also considered a Tirok Hunter.
Yeah, I think it's also Tirok Hunter.
So there'll be options out there.
But the one from Tag Raid is a different design completely. But it's very cool also with the radial saw.
Options are always good, especially when it comes to having something like this.
Look at this.
That's a hell of a halberd.
French hammer.
Is that what that is? That's a heck of a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and here, I pretty much agree with the going more for the artistic style and posing regarding Kendrat from Defiance than the Aniat from N3 in a certain way. There you go. And finally, a special guest here, the Raveneye officer. This is the concept artwork, N4 concept artwork. It's not part of the Morats or anything like that. And this is the pre-order figure that you will get with the book Raveneye, which is the absolute detonator of the whole wave of content that we're getting these days. The narrative and the moment was chosen in order to release Raveneye, and all of this happening and more. Okay, during this week you will see unit profiles for more armies, you will see the update of the army, you will see new rules for Infinity, lots of stuff happening. Okay, Raveneye officer, that's the figure, and it's for 012, but many other armies can also use him, so we will see that during the week.
Fantastic stuff. Well, if that's whet your appetite, then obviously keep tuned in to everything we're doing this week. Plenty coming from both ourselves and Corvus Belli throughout the week for Raveneye. Let us know what you think below, folks. We're going to move on. Bye-bye.
Comment on our Raveneye Week videos for your chance to win Operation Crimson Stone. We'll be choosing 3 winners, one from the comments on YouTube, one from OnTableTop.com, and our Cult of Games members get an extra chance to win.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.